Bhagavate Sri Arunachala Ramanaya Om Namo 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 Bhagavate Sri Arunachala Ramanaya Om.
I think last time when I went there, I took a video in which Michael Heiberger, he's explaining everything. And so he's also showing that rock. And definitely one thing which I really love is the Ilupai tree in the Ramana ashram, which I'm pretty sure Bhagwan must have touched. So I always feel that if you touch it, and it's live and it's there, still in a form. Like all the people at that time, they have left bodies. Yeah, but at least that tree has survived. I think at one stage it was not in a very good condition. Still, it's okay now, and they have actually tried to do their best so the tree survives. They digged holes around it and they try to get the water, because when it gets really hot, dry, then there can be issues. And it's an old tree.
One in the front.
Yeah, the one in the front. You enter from the gate and you see that tree on the right side.
Yeah.
That tree, yeah. Another nice place if someone visits is, which again is less frequently visited by devotees, is Annamalai Swami Samadhi.
Yeah.
So, and that is very peaceful. And I would suggest, if you want to meditate, and if the meditation hall is too busy, you can go and sit there. Because there is no difference between Bhagwan and Annamalai, if you see. He was a realized soul.
I was lucky enough to meet him around about 2000. So it was such a wonderful meeting. Yes, he was there for half an hour after lunch. So it was, after that he'll go and lie down. He was in his 90s. So it was really, really beautiful. Means the eyes was as powerful, as they say, is as powerful as Bhagwan's eyes. It was like that.
No doubt about it. And you know, Annamalai used to say that I am a small spring which is fed by trickle of water, and I dry up soon. In old age he said like that, so I can speak to people only for a short while and then I need rest. And I just get drained of energy, and then you can drink me again after a while.
But at that time, even half an hour, he was so energetic, unbelievably energetic for that age. So that means he was just living as if he is not the body. So it was like that. So you cannot explain that experience when you meet Mahatmas.
And I also met one of the persons who have helped me a lot whenever I go there. He has been out of the ashram now, Chandramouli. So he was looking after the website development and all those things. Now
Yes, cousin or somebody is here.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So he has moved to Annamalai Swami Samadhi area. He was living there. And now he's still living in one of the rooms close to it. So he's writing a book on all the saints and sages who have mentioned Arunachala, or they have come to do tapas at Arunachala. And I believe, I was looking, he was typing on his computer. He had all those names and was trying to make a list of all those people and details about them, which I would be thinking it would be nice, useful treasure, to know all these people. And all these people who have done tapas have actually increased the vibration level of the whole place. And Bhagwan is only just a recent addition to this old age tradition to come to Arunachala. And one thing I want to say is, if you see even from the Western world, people who had some sort of realization, they all go and pay their respect to Arunachala. Some tell openly in public, some don't tell. But almost all have been there. Or if they have not been there, they have respected. Because, there are three ways by which you can connect with Arunachala, even if you have not been there. One of them is just by thinking of Arunachala. But Bhagwan only heard the name Arunachala. He thought it is some mystical place or mythological place. But then someone visited his home and told that I have been to Arunachala. That was the time that he realized that this is a physical place on earth. So and he gives all the credit to hearing the name Arunachala to his realization. And he tells that it sucked him in and he invited him and he has robed him. So this is one thing, just by thinking the name or Arunachala, just thinking. The second is seeing Arunachala, just seeing a picture if you can't be there, and connecting with the picture even. And the third is touch. Touch is you go and touch it, or even if Arunachala Hills is stone you touch. They say that initiation can be done in these three ways: by look, by thought, by touch. And all these three things you can do with Arunachala. And all these three things you can do even without going there. That is the power of Arunachala, that from a distance you can get the blessings. Because what we see Arunachala as a hill is only a form, but that Arunachala formless awareness is everywhere, within us and outside us. And it's infinite, without any end to it. So if you contemplate to that powerful, which you see as a hill, it comes to you. It is here. It is not different from you. And I think this is again a very powerful source to push you in. If you love it, if you remember it. And even you can ask grace of Arunachala. It always gives you, it is so compassionate. It is full of compassion. One thing I want to tell you about even gods, and look, I'm not really well versed with any scriptures, but Shiva is always considered as very giving, kind.
Asatoshi.
He gives you.
Please.
If you want to, in all the gods, so he just gives you. And he never looks how you were before or what you have done in your life. So pray and receive grace from Arunachala. And another thing, if you go on this path of devotion to Arunachala or Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi, what happens is that when you leave this body, you will be absorbed in same Arunachala. You see the samadhi of all S.S. Cohen, Chadwick, everyone there. They write absorbed in Arunachala. The date of leaving the body, absorbed in Arunachala. And this absorbed in Arunachala has not happened at the time of death. Actually, it has happened before. You get absorbed in that awareness. And then when the body is left, you are absorbed. So it doesn't mean that if you are staying in Australia, then you will not get absorbed in Arunachala. Arunachala is everywhere. You will get absorbed in that. But you have to be absorbed even before leaving the body. So this is the power of Arunachala, and it comes as a package. If you see, people think about Bhagwan and Arunachala as two separate. It is the same. And Sadhu Om's this mantra, which I really love, is so beautiful, when he says them together. Om Namo Bhagavate Shri Arunachala Ramanaya, because they are not too different. And I just want to share another thing. There is a caretaker at Virupaksha cave. His name is Karthikeyan, and he was living in UK and then Abu Dhabi, and he is left now. He just is there at ashram for last, I believe, couple of years. And look, everyone pursue their own spiritual seeking in their own way. And he told me this thing, which was beautiful. He said Arunachala came as a little boy who was playing with other kids, grew up in that place, and then got realization and came back. So he wanted to show that it is achievable by an ordinary human being like that boy Venkatraman. And you can say in any way. This is another way to adore that Arunachala has come in form of Ramana to tell us the secret. And even now, if you see, even in South India or even Shiva's temple, people don't go that much, if you check, to Arunachala as compared to other places. And the reason is that we all want more of materialistic pleasures. So people who reach there or who go on that path wants to finish their journey, their earthly journey forever. And there are always less people. Even in Buddha's time, Jesus' time, all times there are very less people who are fed up of this earthly life. Even people have suffering, they are not happy, they are suffering from mental health disorders, but they still want to be there. So what can you do? So it's everyone's own choice and what they want to do with your life. But one thing is very, very clear, that if you take up this path sincerely, it will take you up to the end. There is no doubt about it. Without any single exception. So some people we know and we hear that they were self-realized, but it's not like someone has to make a list of people or someone has to declare it. It is nothing. It is the bliss and peace of your own self, which you experience all the time. When this cave in your heart, when it opens, it reveals you. When this illusion disappears, and this illusion is only our interest in worldly life. The moment we turn 180 degree, we take interest in our own pure self. It reveals us. Only thing necessary is our honesty, our humbleness, and the grace is always there. It is so direct, and you don't have to do anything except being interested in it. So it comes as a package, Bhagwan along with Arunachala. This is the benefit of being Bhagwan's devotee. Arunachala comes with it. And Arunachala you can see in the form. Some people can't do any worship without a form. They have to have a picture or a form. So Arunachala is standing there in the form. Another thing which I would say while I'm talking about these things is that power of Parayana, the Tamil Parayana. So at temple they do Tamil Parayana, but it's Sanskrit also in that. But then all these things which Bhagwan has written or others have written, or this compilation or taken from Puranas and other places. And there's Ved Parayana, which the students, Ved Pathshala is there, where the Vedic students, they chant. So that is different. That also happens. But this Parayana is very powerful. And I would say mainly about the Aksharman Malai, the marital garland of which Bhagwan has actually, if you read meaning, he has created like a garland for the bridegroom. So he's the bride and Arunachala is the bridegroom. So this is marriage is happening. So he has prepared this of 108 verses, and he's saying to Arunachala that I am giving you this. Now you put your garland on me. It is beautiful. People talk about Sufism, the lover, beloved, God. You are having this loving relationship. He's saying the same. In Aksharman Malai, he says that on this bed of flowers, let's embrace each other. It is so beautiful. So Aksharman Malai, he has poured out his heart into it. And he has mentioned in this very, very clearly that support of Arunachala, or you can also say the Guru, should be there till the end, till you leave the body. Never be arrogant that you have done with everything. You are enlightened. No. You stay like a creeper who needs that support of. And Bhagwan says that I have left everything. I have come to you. I am that creeper on you. Give me support. Don't take away the support. This is very important. It keeps you humble, and it makes sure that this ego, this the hood of this ego never comes back again. So always be a devotee. How much you know, how much you don't know, doesn't matter. Be a devotee of your Guru, Arunachala. That will take care of you till you leave this body, till the last breath. It is very important. And Aksharman Malai, because it is in Tamil, but you should understand the meaning also. Chanting is good, but understand meaning and read slowly and go deeper into the meaning. Why Bhagwan has said that. What it means. Then there are so many other things in those chantings, and you can read all those things. Some of them are very reassuring. There is very reassuring. They have taken from Arunachala Mahatmyam. So Shiva has said that if you live in 3 yojanas around the place, without initiation you will be liberated. But that doesn't mean you just live there and do wrong things. He has also said, the Devi has said, that if you live there and do wrong things, you will be finished. You will be punished badly. So it is for the devotees that, and even it says that even thinking about him will liberate you. Other places you have to live, you have to be there. Here you just think about it and it will do the job. So if you don't know, there is a beautiful app, and I can share with you, in which they show Arunachala live camera is there, and you can see every 1 hour they replace the picture. Look, whatever works for you, that's what I'm trying to say, that the power of Arunachala is immense, infinite, and take advantage of that. Even if you can't visit it, just see the picture, remember it, read about Aksharman Malai. All these things are very, very helpful. Basically, we have to dissolve mind into that infinite awareness, that absolute power. How can you dissolve? Look, we say that a person is known by the company you keep. You keep company of saints and sages, you become like that. You keep company of Arunachala, you will become Arunachala. It is as simple as that. Because Arunachala sucks you in to that extent that nothing is left but Arunachala. Believe me, this is real. It's not like I'm just selling, I'm not doing any propaganda. No one has paid me money, Ramana Ashram, go and talk about Arunachala. It is what is I have felt. This is so powerful. Believe in the power, because if you don't believe, it will not happen. We know, being a doctor, placebo effect. You believe that the doctor's medicine is working, it will work. Even if he gives you a sugar pill, it will work. But if you don't believe, it will not work. So there is power, no doubt. But if you have no faith, no belief, it will not work. Because you have to go from matter to that. Nobody can describe it, but it's not even ether, but it is subtler than ether. You have to become so thin. And to be that, you have to just be in that witnessing, Sakshi Bhav, just be like that hill, be like that Arunachala. It's silently just watching everything. Be like that, and take its grace in that form. Just praise, remember, adore, and it will work. Even if we see in Bhagwan's example, he just heard this word Arunachala and it did the job. So I think if we meet face to face, we can do some of this chanting when we meet. Or if someone has something to say about Arunachala, you are most welcome to add with your own experience. Or if Neela Kantanji want to say something about Arunachala, we can say that.
It's famous, and it is Arunachala. Aruna is early morning sun, which is without that heat of the sun, but its brightness is there, and it is unmoving. And if I add Ramana, that is initial one is morning sun, and its unmoving is Sat, and the light is Chit. And if you add Ramana to it, it is Ananda. So Arunachala Ramana stands for Sachit Ananda. So can I be that? I am that unmoving principle which has been coming in and through me throughout my life. Unmoving, but yet it makes me know everything. That's the shining part. And if I stay there, I become Ananda. That's why somebody went and asked Ramanaji about, there are other temples like Chidambaram. Chidambaram is Akasha, that is space or ether. So that should be more powerful than fire, which is represented in Arunachala. But Ramana replies back, no, in that place our Kali is dancing, whereas here Ambal has become one with Shiva. So she is not moving away anywhere. So once that is Maya is not pulling you. Once you think of Arunachala, Maya is not pulling you. That's the beauty of it. The world cannot pull you because Amba has become one with you are there. That's the beauty. I really like that concept because the whole thing cannot pull you because the Achala, the mountain is so unmoving. You become like that. So the mind is not moving anywhere. So you become immersed in that and you become that.
Another thing which I want to share while we are talking about these things is I met John. I don't remember his surname. He's from UK and I've met him in past. So he looks after the archive part of Ramana Ashram. And I went with him to archives for something which I needed. And I saw some collection which I've never seen before, in which there was one of the Bhagwan's tooth was there. So it came out, and one of the devotees actually took that Bhagwan's tooth, its full tooth, and made a shivling, very small shivling, and inside the linga, she put that stone, that tooth inside, and screwed. It's very nicely done. It's such a small metal shivling, specially made for that purpose, and used to worship it. Only recently it is being given to archives by that family. And then there were Bhagwan's hair was there, and there were like dozens of Bhagwan's sticks, very fancy one. But I could not see the stick which is in all the pictures. You know, you might see there's a straight and then slightly curved.
Yeah.
It is not there. What happened was one of the devotees took that away, and it is in their personal possession. So what I heard was that they are still getting these things which Bhagwan has used or something Bhagwan has written on a page. They are still getting it from different devotees in different times. Some of the things they have collected just recently. And it is beautiful to see, and there is a story behind it, how it happened. And they have got, because you know, like someone has written something and they will show it to Bhagwan and he will put his corrections or edit it or add something, footnotes. So all those collections are there, like people have given it that this was, and they have preserved it nicely. So it's all, that area is maintained on a different temperature. It's maintained cold or whatever it's required to preserve these things. And it was beautiful to see all those things there.
The foreigners have helped in preserving so much that archive. Hats off to them. Really, the Western devotees have really helped it so much that they have physically done most of the work there.
I asked John about it, that, you know, he's here, it's so quiet, hardly anyone visits, you know. He said yes, and it's pretty cold because it's fully air conditioned. So I'm enjoying when it's too hot outside. Yeah, look, I
didn't know about this tooth business because I've heard about in Ramakrishna Mission they have some of these ones, like most of the Ramakrishna temples, they have the nails of Ramakrishna preserved.
Yes, this I forgot to tell. I saw the nails of Bhagwan also. There were nails also, yes.
And in those temples where Ramakrishna's nails are preserved, the presence is really great. That's what I felt. Because whenever I will go to that Ramakrishna where that they have kept the nails, and I slowly ask the Swamijis, and the Swamiji slowly reveals it. Is it true? Yes, it is true, they say. So I've reconfirmed. And some of the Mahatmas have in their mala, a pendant, and there is his nails have been preserved and they have kept it. That has been given by his guru to this Swamiji. Like that it's coming down. So you can see some of the aspects which they talk about Buddha like that. So this is also being done in some ashrams, which traditional mutts, they don't do it. Like Shankara mutts, they don't do it.
Another place where I sat was Guha Namah Shivaya. And priest there told me that this is the spot where Bhagwan sat and sat. I think this was the place where there was marks on his back also. And those marks were seen on the wall also.
Wow.
So, see the vibration of a living being who is a realized soul. He sat there hundreds of years back. And you go there and still that place, he has changed the vibration of that place forever. This is the power of that awareness which he taps into, which becomes so much. But one thing I would like to tell you is that this vibration or peace or silence, you can tap when you are interested in it, or you are subtler at that level where you can catch up that frequency. Not everyone who goes to Arunachala feels that. There are people who live in Tirunamalai who don't feel anything. So you have to raise little bit and then it will pull you, and then you can feel that. It is so powerful. Wherever Bhagwan has stayed, you visit those places, you sit there, you contemplate. It is so powerful. And all these places are very simple, and I should say, like Guha Namah Shivaya temple was dilapidated, very bad condition. Like I think the trust or the people looking after, they don't have money. Nobody visits there. Like from here, it looks like when you read, you think those places must be flourishing or people will be coming. And they are old places. They were places when Bhagwan was there. They were there for long time. Guha Namah Shivaya, was a saint, I don't know, maybe few hundred years ago. And actually, all the places are still really good, except Guha Namah Shivaya's I found was not that great. And I heard a story which I just want to share. Guha Namah Shivaya was a saint, but some saints had anger management problems also. or they might curse. So once something happened, and in Tiruvannamalai there was weavers was there. The weaving business was very flourishing there, and he cursed them. They say, and I think he cursed in 13th century or somewhere there. Until now, the weaving business never flourished there. It disappeared. So he had something like that. Even then, similar tone. Ganapati Muni, who was with Bhagwan, I think he went in Maharashtra, one of the places, and they thought he's a thief, and they beat him up. And he cursed those people. He said, you will have a big calamity now. And then the next day, I think, or something like that, there was such a big storm and damage and people died and something like that happened. So taking a curse from a saint is not a good thing, but usually saints don't curse. So see, in Bhagwan's case, people who even did bad to him, he never cursed anyone. So fully established in that self is very important for all of us. Leaving all this anger, greed, hate. Observance is the best thing. Whatever part of the ego is left, you can watch it when you stay as a witness. Your witnessing will dissolve it. And there's nothing else actually. This practice of self-inquiry, self-attention is being vigilant, that's all. Not behaving from that person mode, not behaving from that ego mode. Staying as a witness. Another important word of caution is if you stay too much with worldly people. I have to say that because it is important. If you stay too much with worldly people, then how can you rub your energy from Arunachala or Ramana or teachings? You will get from them. So on your all sadhana, you are getting this energy, or you are evolving, and then you're devolving when you meet all these. Because the thing is that your bad habits, old habits, can pull you down again. That is why an alcoholic should not meet his old friends who are alcoholic, because they will again offer him. He has left, but they'll say, "Oh, don't worry, just have one. One glass will not hurt," and then he can become alcoholic again. So this is that's what the Maya does. Maya is this illusion, our interest in this world and thinking we are this body. More you stay with people who are so much attached to their body and indulged, and who are actually interested in sense organ pleasures. I have to give you some very simple example. Like, here people love to go to restaurants. Look, it's not that in India they don't love. There also they love. But there was a time that nobody used to eat in restaurants in the past. Can you believe? Nobody. There were no restaurants. It was considered to be bad to charge money for food. So let's say a person travels from place A to B in India. Then when they reach new place, someone will feed them from house. It was.
I've heard of persons carrying cooking vessels and cooking in the open air with food, firewood.
Yeah.
Like that, they will go from Kanyakumari to Kashi, Varanasi. From Kanyakumari to Varanasi, can you believe how maybe 1,000, 2,000 miles or something? They walk and they take this cooking vessels and they use firewood, whatever they get, and they cook.
Actually, this I have seen in recent time also. One of my friends who was a radiologist in SGPGI Lucknow, he was a Bengali from Calcutta. His mother, not Calcutta, but some village close to Calcutta, his mother visited, and mother was cooking on a small stove in the balcony. And I said, "What is she doing?" He said, "She always cooks her own food wherever she goes. She is a devotee. She was a Krishna Bhakt, and she cooks. So I have to buy, and she has to cook while we have a good mess. But she will never eat there. Simple food she will make, only rice and something."
I have a friend. He lives in Brisbane. He will eat either his own cooking or his wife's cooking. He will never eat outside. He comes to my place and he says, no, I'm going to cook for myself. I will not eat anybody else's cooking. He's so strict about it. For another kind of looking at it, it's around about maybe 10, 15 years or 20 years since I ate outside in a restaurant. And you can see the difference. You can see the vibration, how when you eat outside food, there's something makes you go, something goes wrong because of it, you can feel it, because you have become settler and settler and settler. If the food is not sattvic, it can affect you. These are all things, as you become settler and settled, these small things can affect you also, how the mind throws up unnecessary ideas because somebody has not cooked those food with good ideas. That slowly travels in through the food. There is one sentence in Brihadaranya Upanishad is explained by Ramanujacharya as it is food. Intake of food should be sattvic, and because of that, all your tendencies become sattvic. And once tendencies become sattvic, it is easy to become one with Paramatma.
Actually, Bhagavan has also mentioned food as the aid. Only thing he has talked about the food, that the food should be sattvic and in moderate quantity.
Yeah.
And with the food, I don't know how much it's important, but in regard to the caste of the person, but I just want to share this small thing which one of my friend's father told me. So he used to work in gun carriage factory in Jabalpur in India. So for the audit purpose, there used to be people coming from South India, mostly from Tamil Nadu, and they will come and then they will ask that who is the Brahmin in the department, because he was a Brahmin. He has to serve food to those people till they stay there for 1 week or 2 weeks. So they will not eat outside, they will not eat to anyone else's place except if someone is a Brahmin. So they will only eat at that place. So the food and who is cooking the food and the ingredients, all these matters, because they make our man.
Mind.
Because they say in Hindi, Jaisa an vaisa man, which means what is the type of food makes your mood. It has come out nicely actually, food and mood, yeah. So I think these things are important. I'm just saying because everything counts when you really want to be there. Don't take it lightly, just mixing up. It doesn't matter, how I don't mind, eating anywhere or anything. And I'm doing my tapas. It doesn't work like that. If you want to go, because as Neelakantanji is saying that you get so disentangled with the body and mind that these things actually affect you badly. You will not believe, if someone invites me and I eat there, I'm in a bad shape. The body is in such a bad shape for few days, not one day, few days. And I punish my body if I eat at someone's house or in a restaurant. But sometimes, how should I say, if you live in a family, you still have to go and you have to eat. And this is big suffering to the body. I have to be very honest. Very big suffering to the body. But anyway, it is life. Whatever it has to go through, maybe it has to go through. But if you have a choice, then try to have your sattvic food cooked at your place, or a place where the other person is also into that type of sattvic mind.
One more thing, like Ramanujacharya has told this, Shankaracharya, while explaining the same verse, says all inputs, not only food, all inputs through all the sense organs, you should be careful. I like that because suppose you go on watching footy or you go on watching movies after movies, that impression will be there in the mind. So those kinds of, we have to be careful about everything, not only food, but also every other this one, even the thoughts coming to your mind, you have to be watchful. So yeah, that is sadhana. As far as I'm concerned, that is sadhana.
But I believe if you believe in Bhagavan, Arunachala, you go deep into and you stay as awareness, he will take care of all these sense organs. Bhagavan says beautifully in Aksharman Malai that you have put mud in my mouth. Like I have no taste for anything. All taste have just disappeared. Only the divine taste is left. So they explain mud in mouth also that it has ruined my life in a way. It's a saying in Tamil, but I don't know. I think Bhagwan must have said that I have no taste for anything except the divine taste. And so I think the most important thing is your intense longing and your
So actually, it's put very nicely by saying that if you catch hold of the higher branch, the lower branches you can leave. So when you're climbing a tree, you catch hold of the higher branch, automatically you lift your leg and go to the next branch. Like that, you catch hold of the topmost. What is the topmost is Atman. All other things follow.
Let's sit in silence for some time and try to be in that peaceful self as a witness to everything. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.